Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today I have a new ranking video. The ranking that kind of like every metal channel has to do at some point in their lifespan. It's the Death album ranking. They are the original death metal band led by ChuckShuldinger, and they have a small discography, only 7 albums, because ChuckShuldinger, he died very young from cancer. He died on December 13, 2001. Actually, the 20th anniversary of his death is coming up soon. So I wanted to get that out at this time, for that reason as well. And since this is a short ranking video, I also want to do like a top 10 songs after the ranking. I did get the idea from Hammerheart Reviews. You can check out his channel. So let me not waste any more time. I'm just going to get right into it. So like I said, there are only 7 albums. All of these albums are good. They never put out a bad album. So basically this ranking is based on preference or personal preference. Pretty much with this type of band, these albums can be ranked in like almost any order and it will always make sense. So anyway, again, like I said, these are just personal preferences. So at number 7, I have Individual Thought Patterns from 1993. Pretty good album. This one has Andy LaRocque, and he's best known for playing with King Diamond. It has a drummer, Gene Hogland, and the second to last album was Steve DiGiorgio. And Steve DiGiorgio has been in many bands like Testament, Obituary, Iced Earth, and he's a very distinct bass guitar sound. So you could always pick out that wow sound, something like that. Now in this album they experiment a little more progressive sound, and they do have that death metal style. So this album also has The Philosopher. That's a song they made a music video for, and this has been on Beavis and Butthead. They're kind of roasted this video, and this one has some good songs. So I like The Philosopher, Overactive Imagination, and Trapped in a Corner. So that's at number 7. And coming in number 6 is Spiritual Healing from 1990. This is their 3rd album. So this band, they change their lineups often, and so in this one they have James Murphy on guitar. He played with Testament and Obituary. They have Terry Butler on bass, and he was in Obituary, and he was in 6 Feet Under for a while. This is the last album with Bill Andrews as well, and on this album they talk more about social issues and real topics, talking about faith healers. You see that on the cover. They talk about genetic reconstruction, which they got from an old TV show called That's Incredible. They have talk about drug addiction, and the songs I like are Alternate Future, Spiritual Healing, Genetic Reconstruction, and Killing Spree. At number 5, I have Scream Bloody Gore from 1987. This is their debut. Probably the album that kind of created the death metal genre. I know that's been debated at times. Still, one of the most important albums in the genre. So at this point in the band, they're kind of getting a feel for what they wanted to do. Later, they would get more progressive. This is a very raw, just in-your-face death metal album. Chuck plays most of the instruments in the album, and he had Chris Reifert on drums. So my favorite songs are the kind of the front end and back ends of the album. So I like Infernal Death, Zombie Ritual, Denial of Life, Torn to Pieces, Evil Dead, and Scream Bloody Gore. So a lot of good songs in this album, but the other 4 albums I did like a little better. So coming in number 4 is Human from 1991. So it's a really great album. I did a 30th anniversary review of this album. So on this album, they just start to experiment a little more with the progressive sound, and at the same time they retain their classic death metal side. They have Paul and Masvidal and Sean Reinhardt on guitar and drums. They're from the band Cynic. That's another melodic death metal band. And Steve DiGiorgio is on bass. This is his first album on bass. So the album does have a bonus track, has a cover of God of Thunder by Kiss. They have an instrumental, a Cosmic Sea. And some of my favorite songs are Flattening of Emotions, Suicide Machine, and Lack of Comprehension. At number 3, I have Symbolic from 1995. Really good album, and they kind of changed their style a little on this one. They kind of go for the more melodic death metal style. I think that's probably why I like it a lot. So this album, they have Bobby Colby on guitar, Kelly Conlon on bass, and Gene Hoglan on drums. So the title track, Symbolic, kind of a little slower song, but it does kind of get fast a little later on. It has a really great riffing on that one. Empty Words, another one I like a lot. Has a slow atmospheric intro, the clean guitars, and then some really chunky riffs. Thousand Eyes, that's another one of my favorites. And that's a song that kind of comes close to like thrash metal, has those like pounding drums and those kind of like the galloping guitars. And number 2 is Leprosy from 1988. So this is their second album, and this is the one that they kind of found their sound on this album. And this is also the album that got me into death metal. So when I was younger, I was never really into death metal. You know, I just kind of like didn't get into it. Like back when I was young, I think the only death metal album that I actually owned on CD was Wolverine Blues by Entombed. But it was the song Pull the Plug. I heard it maybe, let's say 5-6 years ago. And that got me into the band Death and the death metal genre. So there's even like a band from Mexico City called Leprosy. They kind of like took their band name from this album. They sing in Spanish. It's pretty cool if you ever want to check them out. So on this album they have Rick Ross on lead guitar and Bill Andrews on drums. Now I like all of these songs, but my favorites, like I said, Pull the Plug. That was the one that kind of got me into the genre. But other great ones, Born Dead, Left to Die, Open Casket, and Choke on It. Those are all really great songs. And last is The Sound of Perseverance. This is their last album. It's a great one. This is one of those albums I think is very divided. You know, some people really love it. Some people kind of rank it fairly low. You know, for me, I just love it, just all the way through, like every song, except for the last one. It's a cover of Painkiller by Judas Priest. That one I don't like that much, but the first, like, I think it's 8 songs, all awesome. So this album has guitarist Shannon Hamm, drummer Richard Christie, and bassist Scott Clendenin, and it has another instrumental. Like Death has only recorded 2 instrumentals in their career. It's called Voice of the Soul, very atmospheric, lots of clean guitars, you know, kind of very different, has like strumming in it. But my favorite songs are Spear Crusher, Story to Tell, Flesh and the Power It Holds, and A Moment of Clarity. Okay, so now let me go into my top 10 songs. Okay, this is the second part. I'm going to do my top 10 songs by the band Death, talking about songs from all of the 7 albums. I think every album is represented in my top 10 list. So I'm not going to waste any more time. Let me jump right into it. So coming in number 10 is Trapped in the Corner from Individual Thought Pattern. So really great, has that like twin guitar in the beginning, you know. Really love that. Really great. I love the Steve Giorgio's bass in this. Has that like whoomp, whoomp. That really great middle riff, like. So this is an awesome song. Love this. Coming in at number 10, that's the only one I have from this album. Coming in at number 9 is 1000 Eyes from Symbolic. Very heavy song, but almost like a thrashy song, like the really great sound. You know, they kind of like changed their stylus on the Symbolic album. So this one's really good. So this has some faster parts. Then in the middle it has this really like these like chunky, almost like thrashy riffs, like these those like palm meter riffs, and some really great leads. Really awesome song, so I love this. Coming in at number 8 is Altering the Future from Spiritual Healing. This is the only song I have from this particular album, but I really like it. It's slow, you know, it's doomy, you know. Yeah, I really like the lyrics in this one. And a really great riff, like dun, 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 dun. And also really great, you know, it is a death metal song. It does get faster. It has like the really fast drums, really really great leads, and really great rhythm section. So, like I said, Altering the Future is number 8. And number 7 is Crystal Mountain from Symbolic. And I really like this Symbolic album, and it's a really great song. We love the riff on this. It's like has some clean parts as well. That goes like down, down, down. Really love that. And Symbolic, like I said, is a really great album. Crystal Mountain. Really love that. Lots of melodic leads as well. Coming in number 6 is Zombie Ritual from Scream Bloody Gore. This is probably the only song I have from their first album, but really love the intro. Like, Down, down, bam, boom, bam. Kind of like a slow intro, but then kind of starts to speed up. But really fast, kind of has those like really fast blast beats, a really raw sound, really deep vocals. Really great. Zombie ritual. I really like this one a lot. So that's my number 6. At number 5, I have Open Casket from Leprosy. And this one just has those like chugging guitars that like kind of like that like tremolo picking in the beginning, kind of like the slow building intro. Really great song, that like fast drum beat, like the and in this song, like the drumming really stands out. Just like really great, super fast drumming, and the guitars sound really good. A really great rhythm section. And it's such like an awesome song, very fast-paced, just in-your-face, raw death metal song. Coming in at number 4 is Flattening of Emotions from Human. Kind of a slow builder. It kind of has a drum beat that kind of like, builds up, kind of like gets into that like first riff. Almost sounds like a Hot for Teacher from Van Halen at the beginning. But as soon as that riff kicks in, it's like... really awesome. And a really awesome song. Really, lots of technical riffing in here. Really great vocals that are really deep singing. So really great song. Coming in number 3 is Spirit Crusher from The Sound of Perseverance. Starts with a bass intro, and really great. And, I think on this album they kind of like, they do a lot more like prog on this album. So the songs that kind of like more like slower building songs that kind of start slowing, but it's still metal, Really awesome. There's also like another version, you can find it on different versions of the album where actually Chuck is singing in like a very different style, like a heavy metal style. It's like a demo version of it. I think it's this song. But really great. Really love the riff. And I really love the part where there's like dent, 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 wow. Really great riff in that one. And that's my number 3. But my number 2 is the song I have been talking about. Pull the plug. Down, 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 down. Wow. Down, 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 down. Just those guitar chords. So I actually tried playing this on the guitar once. And, it has that really like, the guitar is tuned like one step down to get that really heavy sound. And this is just, the song has so many like different parts, There's like another part where you kind of like you just hear like the vocals are great, like pull the plug. Really love that. And like I said, this is the song that kind of got me into death metal. The whole Leprosy album is just awesome as itself. So that's it. And there's only one, my number 1 is Flesh and the Power It Holds from The Sound of Perseverance. Kind of a slower intro, but I really love that like proggy intro, like and this song, it's I think it's like 8 minutes long, but has so many different parts. It gets faster, it gets slower, so many different like progressive rock parts, and it's just such a great song. There's some fast parts, has like the blast beats, and really love this. I really love the middle part. Super crunchy riffs, and the song just has so much to it, and I like it. Pretty cool like lyrical content as well. And that's it. So that's my top 10 list. Let me know what yours are and what your ranking, or just let me know in the comments, what you thought. So up next, new albums by Black Label Society. Deep Purple has the Covers album coming up tomorrow, and Cynic, they're a melodic death metal band. And I heard the new Cynic album is kind of like more like ambient or something. I haven't heard it, but I'll check it out. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other videos, and see you all in the next one.